higher standards don't necessarily mean higher test scores in K-12. Here's an article from District Administration. There is this incredible disconnect between education policy and practice. Policymakers and leaders say, we demand better education for our children. Therefore, we need higher standards and we need to raise the bar for proficiency. And since we are requiring more of teachers and students, of course, they will work harder to meet this new challenge. But over and over, this fails. Raising the bar for proficiency in actuality means that fewer students will be identified as proficient. Well, apparently this baffles policymakers and leaders. They did the political work necessary to change the standards and insist that the bar be raised. They allocated billions of dollars to have new textbooks and materials delivered to schools that are aligned with the new standards. They allocated billions of dollars to have new tests created and delivered to schools that measure the new standards. And education outcomes largely don't change. So how do they respond to this failure? A few years later, they announced that they are changing the standards and raising the bar for proficiency yet again. You might have heard about some of these initiatives: No Child Left Behind, Common Core. Some people say that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Now, I said that there was a disconnect between policy and practice. These policies are forced on teachers, the practitioners, so we the teachers are told that we have new standards and a new bar for proficiency. We are told to use the new textbooks and materials in order to prepare students for the new tests. We are told that our jobs rely on our adherence to these new guidelines. And here's the disconnect. Many of us just won't do it. Telling teachers to adhere to higher standards is tantamount to saying, hey teachers, we know you are running as fast as you possibly can, but now you need to run 20% faster. Oh, and you will be held accountable for it. So we return to our classrooms frustrated and don't change anything. Most teachers are not adequately trained on how to meet the new standards. We are just told to meet them. Well, that will never, ever work. Billions of dollars are spent on textbooks, materials, and tests when we know that money would be better spent on hiring and training teachers. We know this. But policymakers continue to just rename the same old efforts, spend the money, and then express frustration when it doesn't work. It's time to stop this insanity, and the solution is simple. Take the billions of dollars spent on these initiatives that don't work and invest in teachers.